I have now watched all 8 episodes of an advanced copy of the Dallas Cowboys documentary that will explode onto Netflix on Tuesday. And I am here to tell you, it is full of bombshells. It's about the impossible rise and the shocking fall of the 1990s Dallas Cowboys dynasty, or at least what should have been the dynasty. 3 out of 4 Super Bowls should have been 5 out of 5. This doc is about Jimmy Johnson versus Jerry Jones, about Jimmy Johnson versus Troy Aikman, about Troy Aikman versus Barry Switzer, all mind-blowing. But this documentary actually turns into more of a Michael Irvin confessional. As my guy, Michael Irvin, a man I worked with on television from Best Damn Sports Show to Undisputed, my guy, Michael Irvin, comes shockingly clean about the house that the players kept about 2 blocks from the Cowboys practice field called the White House. Michael Irvin as president. The White House featuring different drugs and different women in every room. Michael goes into detail. And he also details that night that Michael got busted for drugs in a Dallas motel room. And about how he avoided jail time, even though the prosecution had him dead to rights. Wait until you get an eyeful of that. And about how, while on probation for that, Michael got mad at a new teammate and stabbed him in the neck with scissors. Nearly killed him. And again avoided jail time when that same judge who was interviewed for the documentary again let Michael off because Michael somehow convinced that judge that the stabbing was just an accident during some horseplay. Whew. This documentary is called America's Team, the Gambler and His Cowboys. And it is sensationally done. Some people will hail it as a masterpiece. Whether you love or hate this football team, and have for many years, you will be riveted by this. As I've said before, I wrote 3 books about that period, that dynastic period that came out in 1990, 1993, 1996. So I was interviewed for about 6 hours for this doc by McLean and Chapman Way and by Adam Goldberg. Those are the 3 driving forces behind this doc. And yeah, I'm in it quite a bit. Now, I'll be the first to admit to you, I look terrible in the documentary. My lighting was brutal. I don't think I look that bad, do I? Maybe I do. But what I say in the documentary is dead on. As were all 3 of my books, for which I received many, many death threats when each first came out. All 3 of my books broke stories that Cowboy Nation just did not want to hear because fans were completely unaware of what was really going on in all 3 cases. So all 3 of my books were often dismissed as yellow journalism, sensationalism without facts. Nope. I gave you nothing but facts about untold true stories. Absolute cold, hard facts. And these stories just leap off the screen in this Netflix doc. If nothing else, from my point of view, this doc does validate and vindicate all 3 of my books, God's Coach, The Boys, and Hellbent, especially Hellbent. But in some cases, yeah, I'll tell you the truth. Punches were pulled in this documentary here and there. I know Jerry had veto power. I'm not sure if he exercised it. I'll try to figure this out. But I am prepared in some cases to tell you the stories behind these stories. Stories I think you'll be astonished and astounded by once you've seen all 8 episodes. So I'm going to wait a week or so. Then I will unleash. I will welcome and respond to your questions and your comments. Because no one in this documentary has a broader feel for the real objective truth than I do. Now, you might think it's very arrogant and presumptuous for me to say that, but look, I really believe I was the only one involved, and I was deeply involved, who had any real sort of step back objectivity over what was swirling around me. I was way, way, way inside all of the above. And I will soon take you way inside what really happened behind the scenes of the most interesting team ever there was in any sport. Please show me some other Yankee team, or I don't know, the 85 Bears. Show me another team that can compete with this one for off the field headlines, because you can't. You just can't. I mean, what owner fires a head coach after he's won back-to-back Super Bowls? Wait, Jimmy Johnson wanted to trade Michael Irvin when he first got to Dallas? And Jimmy, for about 3 years, thought Troy Aikman was a loser? Wait, Jerry Jones replaced Jimmy Johnson with a Barry Switzer who'd been out of coaching for 5 years and who had never coached a single down in the NFL as an assistant or a head coach? Troy Aikman tried to get Barry Switzer fired during the 1995 season, after which the Cowboys actually won their final Super Bowl in spite of themselves. I was in the middle of that. And what about the racial incident that ended all communication between Aikman and Switzer for the last couple of months of that 95 season? Whew! Oh, the stories I can tell and will tell after you've had a chance to watch this documentary.